Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to complete the project which we started yesterday. So if you're seeing this video for the first time and wondering which project I'm talking about, is the project that we started, which is creating a an application landing zone that involves creating resource groups, virtual network, VNets, subnets, network security groups, container registry, log analytics workspace, storage accounts, artifacts, containers, and all of that. And we are doing that using Terraform. So we are using Terraform to provision these resources on Azure. So yesterday, that's the last video, we we created a lot of resources, but we had an issue with the log analytics workspace, and I had to change the retention period from 7 days to 30 days. So, and after applying it, it was successful, and you can see one added. So, if you notice, even despite us applying it again, all these resources were not created. And if you notice what you're seeing here, you are saying refreshing state. It is just checking. Once it has been created before, it will not create it again. So most times you will see refreshing state, and for all of that. So what he created was just one resource, which is the log analytics workspace. And if we go to our portal and click on this, if I go to my resource group and I click on this, so I should see an extra resource now. Okay, so this is it. So we now have our log analysis workspace. It wasn't there yesterday, that's in the previous video, but now it is there. So the last thing we are going to create for this project is, before now, everything we have our TF state in my local PC, but we are trying to mimic a production setup as much as possible. And in a production setup, your TF state will be remote. So we want to all of this, we want to have it in a remote backend. And we had a separate video for remote backend. So we're just going to do similar thing. We're going to almost going to do the same thing that we did for that video here, and then change our backend from this our local PC to a remote backend. So first thing, to create a um backend or remote backend, we have to create a resource group. I want my remote backend to be in a separate resource group. So I don't want to put it in a new resource group. I want it in a separate resource group. And then I have to create a storage account, a blob container. So that is how you create a remote backend. If you've watched the video for the remote backend, you obviously know what I'm talking about. So without wasting much time, I don't want this video to be a long video. It's probably going to be the last video for this Terraform phase of our journey. So most likely the next video you'll be seeing might be for another thing. So I'm going to go here. So I'll create, first thing you create is a resource group. So I'm going to use the almost the same thing I used when I was creating the first remote backend. So I'm going to do this. Okay. I'll go back here. I'll come here and face this. So I'm going to create a resource group called tfstate.rg that will help me create a resource group on my account. So I'm just going to wait for that to actually happen. So I'm going to copy this too. So I'm creating a resource group called tfstate.rg. I'm creating a container named Terra tfstate storage, and I'm creating a file named tfstate. Okay. So I'm just going to, no, I think I need to copy just these two since I've done the first one. So I'll copy these two. Let's see. Okay, our first group has been created. So let's verify on the portal. And go to resource group. So I'm supposed to say, okay, good. So we have the fourth resource group, which is the TSPit ROG. So let's confirm there shouldn't be anything inside. So we don't have anything in this resource group. So I'm going to go ahead and create storage account as well as the container. Okay. So while that is creating, remember when we did our when we covered the video on remote backend, we had just one single file which we put it in the provider block, right? But in this particular case, we will not put it in the provider block. We'll be creating a separate file for it. So we're going to give it its own file. This is exactly what we used, but this time instead of putting it in another block, we are going to create its own file. Okay, so create a file backend.tf. Backend, is that spelled properly? Okay, backend.tf. Great. So the resource group name is what we have created, which is tf state rog. Then the storage account name is Terra TF storage. The container name is TF state. And remember what I said this key means. This is similar to saying terraform.tf state, but we just put a prefix in front. Landing zone slash terraform, state. So I'm going to save this and allow that to create. So it has been created. Let's confirm. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Um, okay, let's see. I should see a storage account now. Good. So we have our storage account. When I go into the storage account, when I check, go to the storage browser and block containers, you should see my container. Good. So we have our TF state container, but if I should click on it, I'm not supposed to see anything because nothing has been created. So no items found yet, which is a good thing. So I'm going to great. So what we need to do is just run Terraform init. Okay, so let's see if there's anything that needs to be updated. And so since we are using a remote backend, I want to initialize it. So let's see if it's going to use our local backend or it is going to use our remote backend for it. So from this init, we are going to see the output, and then that would give us a clear confirmation of if what we are doing is right or otherwise. Okay, so it's saying acquiring state log. This may take few minutes. Do you want to copy the existing state to the new backend? So it is recognizing that there's an existing state in my local PC. So it said pre-existing state was found while migrating this previous local backend to the newly configured Azure remote backend. No existing state was found in the newly configured remote backend, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to copy this state to the new Azure RM backend? Enter yes to copy and no to start with an empty state. So if I click no, it will to try to create all these things from scratch. But if I create yes, it will just copy it from my local to the remote backend. So I'm going to click yes. So this actually gives an indication that we are in the right track. So it is releasing the state lock. So it is no longer locked to my own local. It's no longer using my local PC as a remote backend, as the backend rather. So now it's using a remote backend. So okay, it's still initializing, and then we'll see how this plays out. Okay, great. So let's do Terraform apply. Well, I don't think there is any resource to create. Terraform apply auto approve. Okay, so I want to confirm something. Let me go here and see. Since it has copied it, I want to see if there is going to be a new file in my container. Okay. So go to the storage browser and blob containers, and let's check our container to see if we have that file there. Good. So we have the landing zone. So since it's a landing zone, thus we are creating a file called landing zone, and in that landing zone, we have our terraform.tf state inside of it. So you can see now that we everything that we do, going forward will be using the remote backend, not my local PC. So I hope we have been able to do okay. So it's acquiring state lock and all of that. So once this is complete, I'm going to run Terraform destroy. Please, 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 and please. The moment you're done, kindly destroy or kindly delete the resources that you have created. If you don't do that, you'll be surprised the amount of billings that you're going to see once you wake up tomorrow to check that account. And the good thing is that with Terraform, you just need one command, which is Terraform destroy. So once this is done, I'm going to run Terraform destroy, and I will destroy all the resources. So I hope we've been able to gain one or two things from this project that we have done. Like I said, if you're seeing this video, definitely the the code has been uploaded to my GitHub repository, and then you can check my GitHub profile, check the Azure Landing Zone Terraform to see the code, and then you can fork the repository to your repository. You can make the code your own and turn it to your project, which you can even put in your resume and all of that. So I hope so far, if you've gained anything, please do well to like the video. Not just like the video, you can share it with anybody that you would want to learn one or two things, or you would want them to add such a project to their portfolio. And most importantly, if you've not been following my channel up till now, please do well to follow, and also don't forget to subscribe. So when I post new videos, you get notified immediately. So I'll see you again on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.